His first love was anything to do with cars, trucks, tractors, or other, even go-karts. This continued throughout his life. Little did we know that from his very first Radio Flyer Classic Red Wagon at age 2, he would end up with his driving one of those big double-barrel cement trucks for Sutton Trucking.
Oh, wow.
In between, in his late teens, he attended an auto mechanic school in Sacramento Valley. Pete was a true animal lover, and we all had all kinds when he was growing up. Dogs, many cats, guinea pigs, a goat, a pony, and a horse. Even had a pet snake, which his mom wasn't too crazy about. This love continued throughout his life. He was super fond of dogs and cats, and he was like a magnet attracting any animal. Where he and Denise lived here in Redmond, there was an open field of pasture across the road, and a horse named Trigger would come tearing over to greet Pete whenever he went outside, to look for him and give him a treat. Of course, the treat helped. Pete was always an inquisitive explorer type of kid and guy, trekking through the abandoned country roadside dump areas, looking for treasures with his buddies and bringing home unidentifiable objects to take apart to see what was in it or how it worked. One such treasure, at the tender age of 9, turned out to be an anti-tank mine, which was one of several lightly buried in the huge thousands of acres open land across from where we lived in Los Altos Hills. By the grace of God, I arrived home just after he had opened it up, and we called police to bring in the bomb squad to take it away. Between that, other hazardous finds, and rattlesnakes, it's hard to believe that Pete lived a charmed life in those early days. Unfortunately, that didn't last, and after leaving home, Pete's life went through a series of severe ups and downs until he found the help he needed to bring him out of the tough times. And then he found his trucks again and began driving swift 18-wheelers and then May 18-wheelers. He moved to the Redmond area in the late 1980s, began driving the large cement trucks for Gresham, and met a next-door neighbor named Denise Boyce. He and Denise began going together and really enjoyed each other's company. Denise turned out to be the best thing that ever happened to Pete in his later life. They married in February 2008, bought a very nice house in what was then a rural area, and dreamed of traveling and possibly moving to a warmer climate after Pete retired from Sutton last September.